Look at this. Climate anxiety. I would rather say it's social media anxiety mixed with a little bit of mainstream media anxiety. People who do not use the computer and do not watch TV, for some magical reason, do not have this anxiety. Isn't it interesting? But I've been saying this on my channel for a while, and take into account that I'm an atheist. I do believe that a person, an individual, can be an atheist, but now I believe without a shadow of a doubt that a society cannot be atheistic. You take religion away from people, and they will either find other ideologies or other types of religions to believe in. So, in the case of Britain, they have a growing number of atheists, but at the same time, they also have a growing number of various other religions, cults. The woke cult, as some people like to say it, is shocking in the UK. I mean, I got a major culture shock when I went there. And it is due to this climate anxiety. Like, literally, everywhere I looked, it was like, this construction company operates on sustainability. This taxi driver drives on green emissions. I went into a mall. They had an entire escalator stopped, and they would say, this is to protect the planet. I was like, motherfucker, it's to protect your earnings. What are you talking about? In the hotel room that I went, it said, make sure that you unplug everything from the sockets in order to save electricity and save the planet. And I was like, you would say the same things 5 years ago, but you would mention it so that you don't cause a fire hazard. When you go into a London restaurant, a steakhouse, or a place that's designed to sell you meat, and literally on the first item that you see on the menu is the vegan option. I'm not complaining that there's vegan option, but like the way they're putting it on the front of the menu in a place that's selling meat is bewildering. It's like going to a vegan restaurant and the first option on the menu is the meat one. And like, well, you know, in case you just happen to wonder here, here's a big steak. Doesn't make any sense, right? So it doesn't surprise me that shamanism is one of Britain's faster growing religion, and it's apparently due to the climate anxiety. Now, if you're wondering what shamanism does, is the belief that everything has a spirit. So even the rock, even the earth, even the water, it's got its own spirit, and therefore it must be protected. So you can see how this goes very well with the climate anxiety, and this is probably why you don't see any pushback against this religion, right? Because it's all superstitious nonsense. And it's superstitious nonsense in a time when it's trust the science. And meanwhile, the science is like the Ravens College of Therapeutic Shamanism in Wales. And you have Paul Francis, a psychotherapist, which teaches shamanic counseling. It also believes that everything in nature has equal footing. So, in other words, the life of a human and a cricket, I assume, is basically the same. The life of a human and a rock. I'm not an expert, but I should ask about it, right? I need to get a shaman to explain to me. Unfortunately, they can't cast spells. You know, you think it's like World of Warcraft. They can walk on water. They can summon totems and stuff. No, they can't. But what they do is they have Mexican incense, right? So in order to get that Mexican incense, I assume they use a plane which has carbon emissions to get the stuff from Mexico into the United Kingdom. But that's fine, you know, because they're carbon friendly. The purifying ritual is known as smudging. To smudge. Like, I just find it interesting, right? Because, like, if you go to a woke person and you say that you're a Christian, immediately they will say, oh my god, you're oppressive. The cisgender, heteronormative, patriarchal structure. But if you tell them you're a shaman, oh, respecto. They give you respecto. So you have an ideology which apparently considers that everything in nature has a spirit, right? Including the rock. They believe that everything is equal. So the life of a human and the life of a cricket. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I hope that the World Economic Forum is going to promote this way of thinking. Like, why not? You know, people do need some sort of religion. Although they need to work on their history a little bit. The idea that prostitution was one of the oldest professions is wrong. It was shamanism. I do not think that prostitution was one of the oldest professions, because like you have to pay the prostitute with something, right? Because otherwise it's just consensual sex. I think it's hunting that's the oldest religion. You gotta eat before you do anything else. So like probably hunting, shamanism, and then prostitution. But yeah, so it's not that concerning. I mean, initially in 2021, it was just 650 people, but ever since then, it grew to 8,000. So it's not the number that's shocking, it's the fact that it is the fastest growing religion. And it would be very interesting if it actually gets religious status. Do you think it can spread into the United States? Don't they have a famous shaman that the news media presented to me? Do you think he can apply for the UK and say that he's getting religious persecution in the United States? Yeah, no, so personally, I got nothing about people wanting to do shamanism, but the question is, like, why are the atheists on Twitter that are absolutely rabid when you tell them that you're a Christian? Why are they mocking and ridiculing this? Is it the size that matters? Like, if it was just 8,000 Christians in the world, would they stop complaining about Christianity? What if it was growing? But anyway, shamanism doesn't seem to be the only offshot religion. We also have paganism and other similar ones. To be honest, I am more concerned about the Blue Heronism cult. You know, the one that believes the United Kingdom is a systemically racist country. There's nothing good about it, and it's one of the world's leading polluter, and blah, 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 blah. Like, there are those people. I'm just noticing that the science doesn't seem to apply to them, right? Like, spreading harmful misinformation isn't considered if you say that Britain is systemically racist or inherently racist, right? That's not harmful or dangerous information. Because you see, what I'm really upset about is that the rules aren't being applied consistently. Like, conspiracy theories are bad unless it's a leftist conspiracy theory. Like, if you believe that paying more taxes to the government makes Sky Daddy less angry, that's an authorized conspiracy theory. You're allowed to believe in that. If you believe that the patriarchy is controlling the United Kingdom and is puppeteering all the men to do sexismus against women, you are authorized to believe in that. But anything else, no, it's harmful, dangerous misinformation. That's the problem that I have. And this is why I'm also showing this. I'm showing this to, first of all, explain what happens when you have the mainstream media just constantly talking about this issue nonstop in a very emotional way. You're going to get people that start their own religions. And also, to show you that certain conspiracies are allowed and certain misinformations are allowed. But others not so much. Anyway, right. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will find you in the comment section. Take care.